Hey, my video cut out there, and good thing it did. Continuation of the signs. There's a lot of signs. I just pulled my back. The last time I pulled my back, stupid move. I saw someone, and it was a woman, and she was beside like a couch in the parking garage here, and she looked like she needed help, so I went and I helped her move the couch. And it's not that heavy or anything, but with this, all I have to do is just like slip the wrong way, just like a quick, and the adhesions in my spine tear. And when they tear, that's where the pain I have right now, in literature it says it's equal to terminal cancer pain. So that's what I deal with. That's one of the reasons why I not the only reason, but one of the reasons I've turned to God. The last time this happened, it lasted for over 2 weeks. Just constant. I can't begin to tell you what this pain is like. So let's continue with the signs. So evil is being called good, and good for evil. I have to make sure this is recording because it cut out on me before. I don't know why it cut out either. Hollywood is spitting out horrible propaganda. The videos, music videos, are satanic. I'm speaking about choreographed, purpose-built satanic videos. You can look at one of Beyonce has a video, and a YouTuber called Rise, R-I-S-E, he did a breakdown of the entire video. So this is made in Hollywood, and it's from beginning to end. He explains the entire thing, and it's satanic. So Trump won the 26th election, and now they're trying to take him out by whatever means. I've never witnessed so much evil and propaganda on Democratic news stations. Trump has to pay $50 million for the case out of his own pocket, and the person who's prosecuting him, which is named Bragg, they pay $200 million, and that's from taxpayers. If I didn't know better, the United States will go into a civil war. They can't take away that many guns from people. I'm just saying, I don't think they can. It wasn't until I was reborn that I recognized what abortion really stood for, and that 60 million abortion deaths, that got my attention. So I do view that as murder. Scoffers are everywhere now. Just look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube you can look up who are mocking God, Jesus Christ. So it says in the last days there will be mocking and scoffing. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where's the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. Your next breath could be your last at any age. And you choose to mock the only God. One breath, your next breath. So you die, you're unconscious, you die. Your next conscious thought will be judgment. And because you did that, it will be hell for eternity because you chose a lie. I have to say that our holidays like Christmas and Easter don't closely reflect what it used to. Nobody talks about Jesus at all, and if you do, they give you strange looks. Yesterday, as I was walking to my my dad's house for Easter. I walked by the grocery store, it was opened, and so was a restaurant right beside it. Without a doubt, people are visibly changing. They care only for themselves. They're rude, they're lovers of pleasure, and they're just brutal in general. Take God away, and that's what you're left with. I'm not saying everyone, but like there are good people. But that's what happens when these values are lost. How about that Satanicon? I call it Satanicon because they should have called it that. SatanCon. And wherever there's a Bible school now in the States, I don't know if they're doing it in Canada too, but they make a Satan school and they call it education. The other week I shared the gospel with a longtime friend who I hadn't talked to in a long time, and he took what I said the wrong way, and he literally threatened me. He didn't threaten me over the phone, it was over a message. I did nothing to intimidate him. People don't like the idea that good people go to hell too if they reject Jesus Christ. So if you reject Jesus Christ will reject you to the Father. That's what it says. So I think just dust my feet off, right? That really took me when, like, he never told me to stop talking about the gospel, and he was engaging in conversation. When he did that, I understood what brutal meant in the last days and how one treats another. I couldn't understand what was happening. What's happening in the world right now is happening quicker than anyone would have dared to imagine. Billy Graham died just in time, although I'm sure he would have loved to take part in this. He missed it by 1 year or less. I have one more thing to say. Everyone just wants to know the truth, right? You just want to know the truth. I don't believe in the rapture because it's not biblical. You heard me read those verses in John. Revelations have been mostly fulfilled. I believe the two witnesses could be the Old and the New Testaments. That's my view. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know for sure. I'm always in a state of learning. No one knows what it's going to be. And right now I'm thinking it could be. I don't know for sure though. Oh. Why? Okay, so why do I think the two witnesses could be the Old and New Testament? I'm going to share that in the description box. I can't understand what I'm doing here. My pain is so bad. Take the time to read it. What I found through my journey is that it's impossible for the last 2,000 years since Jesus' death to be ignored. So why do people think it's all things happening now? They don't look at what happened in the last 2,000 years. 68 million people died by the Vatican Catholic system. Most of this has already happened. The Old and New the Old and New Testament could be a witness, but will be suppressed one more time. I always thought it was Moses or Elijah or Enoch. Just read this, because it makes more sense. I'm always willing to admit I could be wrong. What does it... oh, sorry guys, I'm like totally messed up. I didn't expect this to happen to me today. Who does? Whatever it is for all of us, it's happening really quickly. It looks like Taiwan could happen any day, so they're surrounded. The LGBTQ agenda will eventually end up in some forced worship, and there will no longer be any real churches. Most of Revelation has taken place. one must diligently look to find the truth. So I'm just going to end it here. Oh yeah, and so another reason I ask you to read this, it's very interesting. Revelations is a suppression of the Bible, and that's why people are happy and sending gifts. You know, when they're sending gifts to each other, I think that it's possible they're sending gifts to each other because they've suppressed the Bible, the New and the Old Testament, the witnesses. I don't know. Still looking. Have a good rest of your Easter weekend. Thanks.